Hey everyone, Wes here at Family Gamer TV, and today we're going to look at shortcuts in Mario Kart 8. We're going to move now onto the Flower Cup, and we have Mario Circuit for you. So, Mario Circuit, obviously one of those tracks that shares the same name as tracks that we've had previously, but the layout is completely different, although the theme and some of the enemies are very, very familiar, especially with the version for the Wii. So, does Mario Circuit feature any shortcuts? Well, we will find out. There's a few areas, I think, where you can shave valuable seconds off. This time we are racing as one of the brothers, whose name I can't remember, but I do love his Rainbow Mohican. Leave me a comment, remind me what this character's name was. I'm having to take a lot in with this new Mario Kart, and I haven't quite memorised it all yet. So here we go, boosting around the corners. You've got to avoid those piranha plants. Then you come up to the ramps. Obviously you need to get a few boosts off there if you jump off the top. Power slide around the corner, and a few more power slidey corners. It's nice. It's a nice winding track, goes upside down. I like the design. And then right here we get to a point where you can see we've got some pipes here on the right hand side. Now if you had a mushroom, that's a good place where you can cut through, but it's very difficult to time those mushrooms so that you can then hit that ramp and fly. But that is really the only place where you seem to be able to shave any time off on Mario Circuit. So on we go hurriedly to Toad Harbour, one of my favourite tracks, and there's some interesting little places to cut through in Toad Harbour. So probably quite reminiscent of San Francisco, not that I've been, just because of the trams and the hills on the roads. So here we go on the start line with, is this one Lenny? I think the one with the rainbow hair was Iggy, right? It must have been Iggy. This one's Lenny, I think, maybe. And he's got a nice pimped out pink car to drive in. So the first shortcut is here. You can go on the regular track on the right hand side, or get some boosts and jumps and an item by going on the left hand side there. You'll see I'm going under the arches here, but you can also go on the top, and we'll show you that shortly. Here's one of the other areas where you want to follow. You want to go round this looping track. That cuts off some seconds, and there's a boost there as well, which is nice. And then we come up to some anti-grav sections here on the left hand side. You'll notice that I do this really, really badly. Very often hitting, as we do here, this flower bed. But just to show you, this carries on. You get some nice boosts there with jumps and boost pads, and then you can hit these two boost ramps. And nicely done. And then we're going to slide around this corner. Again, the track splits here, but you want this path because then you get a nice boost pad for you to get some speed up. Obviously, don't want to get hit by shells. That's just naughty from the other people on the track there. But again, we'll slide round. We're going to take this little shortcut, jumping onto the boat, and we're going to go up top this time. Get zapped. Nice. So you've got a nice little jump here, which I don't quite execute, but you can get a boost out of that, and then you've got a boost off the top here as well. And again, go around the top to save some time, but I'll show you what the bottom looks like. We slide round. You can see it's slightly longer way round than using that cut through, and I got overtaken in doing it. So again, we're going to try for the anti-grab, but I have a feeling I might cock this up again. Oh yes, there we go. It's quite hard to hold that, especially when it goes sideways, and I hit the flower bed again. Nice. Yes, you can see my skills in full effect. But again, I love these ramps on this downward slope. Get some big air on there, and then you can slide around the corner. Well, when someone doesn't nudge you. There's a cut through here if you've got a mushroom. That's a good one for the time trials. And you can also slide around in this kind of bus lane and pick up an item there. So that is pretty much it for Toad Harbour. We'll move on to Twisted Mansion. So Twisted Mansion is a very interesting track because there's lots of windy bits, lots of anti-grav bits where things twist around, go all crazy. There aren't that many cut-throughs in this, but let's have a look what's there. So we've got Donkey Kong riding in the carriage. Let's see how he gets on. So Immediately this track splits in two, and I think it's pretty even on both sides. I don't think there's anything special on either path, but immediately at the end here there is a cut through in a library. Now it is off-road, so it will slow you down, but again, if you have a mushroom or any other method of boosting through there, you will save precious time. And here we go, so underwater now with anti-grav as well, and we can slide round here and again to the left there, and then the track splits. Now I find that the right hand path is the better one. It gives you a nice boost out of the water here, and you seem to be better elevated in order to fly onto the top part of the track here, because again it splits top and bottom, and I think the top part is the better path and will give you the better time. And then we end with these big axes and over the finish line. There isn't much more to the track than that, so we'll stop there and move on to Shy Guy Falls. Now, you might see some really poor execution here as I try and show you a couple of elements. There is one particularly tricky cut through, which I'm not sure whether benefits you much in time, but it's really hard to get to sometimes because you need quite a lot of elevation. It's one that you fly into. So we're starting as Baby Luigi. I'm not quite sure what the kart is called, this one. Maybe a cheap kart, something like that. So lots of sliding around corners here. And we have an anti-grav section coming up where the track twists round and goes up in the air. And we follow that, and then we've got this river, which is actually a vertical river if you watch the intro to the course at the start there. And all of this is vertical, and we slide around and we go all the way back down again. Very interesting track design, loving it. Now here's the bit, so you get elevation and you fly, and you can go top or bottom, and as you can see, just can't make it. And blue shelled, nice, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. So back in third place now. We'll come round to the rest of the track. There's a couple of boosts towards the end here, and then this is the final bend. You can cut across the grass there if you have boosts. Remember, going off-road will slow you down unless you have those boosts. Anyway, that's it for Shy Guy Falls. So let's move on now to the Star Cup, and we're going to take a look at